Hello and welcome to Game Changer Live. We were created to inspire with topics about coaching, positive mindset, overcoming perfection, and more. We go live every Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we have special guests joining us on the second and fourth Wednesday of each month. Our goal in going live is to present the most authentic and unedited version of ourselves so that if you were to meet us on the street, this is who you would see. And we think that that's important because if you were wanting to work with us, then we want you to resonate with who we really are. Our motto for this channel is Together We Inspire. So let's get inspired today with my guest, Jackie Wadleigh. Jackie, thank you so much for being here with us. Jackie, you're my coach. You actually have been coaching me for 11 sessions now. We're going to have our 12th session next week. And I really have resonated a lot with what you provide. But normally, typically, you work with women, and you typically work with women to help them learn to love their life again. That's kind of the spiel there. But I think it's really helpful if we heard from you. So tell us about Jackie.
Sure, absolutely. So I have to start with just some of the yummy good stuff. I am a wife. This is my third marriage, so third time's a charm. I finally figured it out. I am a mother of two adult children. I am a grandmother of four absolutely amazing little beings that melt my soul. I am a catering business owner. But where I feel called and led to be more times than not is coaching women, empowering women to live their best life. I have experienced so many things, so many struggles, severe loss. And so I feel like that I bring a lot of experience to the table to be able to coach women outside of and away from the things that are not serving them. And so I'm so happy to be here today, Daniel. I'm glad to be able to share, what I do, my story, and I'm praying and hoping that it touches one soul and they are inspired to live their best life and live the life that they're living.
Love that. I love that. So if there's someone out in the audience that could really benefit from listening to you today, if you could talk to that one person, what does that person look like?
Well, okay, so it's really kind of hard to put it. Like I can think of several different things, but I'll kind of just sum it up in a few. So this person that I would coach, or this person that I really want to tune in and listen, is somebody that is feeling unfulfilled but wants to feel fulfilled. It's someone that maybe has asked themselves, is this as good as it gets? I've had a couple of my clients say, man, this is, I feel like this is my life. This is it. If you're asking yourself, if this is good as it gets, you need to tune in because it gets much better. It really does with the right mindset and the right skills. If you are feeling unworthy or not enough, I want you to listen. I want you to listen up. I want you to lean in and really listen in. If you're feeling hopeless, if everything feels impossible, I want you to see that there is possibility. There is infinite possibility. If you are feeling no joy and all stress, tune in, listen up. We've got lots to talk about today.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
let's dive into it. And we have an episode title people can see when they tune in. It says to live a life you love.
Mm-hmm.
A life you love. But I'd like to hear from you what that means and I guess why that's important.
Okay, so absolutely. Uh, Spending or growing up, never really realizing that you have choices. You're kind of just going through the moments. You're just doing what you need to do. You don't realize that you can make choices, that you can actually choose to live a life that's different than the one that you're currently in. And so the whole point and the whole reason that I'm here today and that I'm actually coaching women is because I want to inspire them to live a life that they love. And it doesn't have to surround money or a big home, or it's just truly living where they are. Every person where they are right now is exactly where they're supposed to be. And I really work with these people, these women especially, to look at their choices, look at their options, and want to choose themselves first. I feel like there's a huge gap for women in putting themselves first. We don't think that we're supposed to choose ourselves first, right? We're nurturers. We are, we cook and clean for somebody. We're taking care of somebody, but nobody really does those types of things for us. And so, looking at what does that really look like. So living a life that you love is creating that life, no matter what it is, no matter how small it is, no matter how big it is realizing that you can create it. And why it's important is why would you not want to do it? I've heard this saying in the past. The saying is obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off of your goal. I don't know if you've ever heard that before, Daniel, or not.
I haven't.
My
It reminds me of something my father said to me, which was, your peripheral vision will take care of all of the things that are in your path as long as you keep your eyes on the horizon.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very similar, right? I kind of switched that around. I wish I could give credit to the person that created that quote, because it's been around for many, many years, but I honestly, I've Googled it. There's no name attached to it, but I've kind of put a different spin on it. And my spin is that obstacles are those frightful things you see when you stop living your best life. And more importantly, you never start.
Yeah.
You never put up the fight. You just accept what is. If you're feeling unfulfilled, you continue just to feel that way.
If I could just tag on to that a little, what
Yes,
it sounds like to me you're talking about is actively living your life rather than reactively living your life. That instead of reacting to the things that are happening into your life and letting that overpower your emotions and control who you are and how you show up in the world, you choose how you want to feel and you make that choice real.
absolutely. I couldn't have said it better than you just did. That is it exactly. It's actively being present. One of the things, or a lot of the things that when I'm working with my clients, I ask them, is like, how are you showing up right now? It's living in the moment. And I think that there's so much fear around where we are in our life. We let fear be the boss of us.
Yeah.
Fear controls, whether we're moving forward or whether we're going to, make this buying decision. And the thing is that we can make these choices. We can make conscious choices through awareness and have a deeper connection with our families, with ourselves. Why would we want to fall in love with our life? Well, we're going to live longer. If we're happier, we're going to live longer. We're going to have less health problems. We're going to sleep better. We're going to have deeper, meaningful relationships, and we're going to love our career. We're going to choose to find another career if we don't like the one that we're in. So I hope that answers your question. But yeah, that's why you would want to do it. There's so many benefits to it. So why would you not want to? I guess would be my question.
I have a little insight into your coaching because I've been your client for a couple
Yeah.
months now, and um, you shared with me at one point this analogy of kind of taking inventory, if you will, of your thoughts. It was kind of a cleaning the attic type analogy, and it was so powerful to me, and I asked if you would be willing to share it. So could you share that with us today?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. I'm going to give you the backstory first to kind of tell you how this all came about. It's like with anyone, it's the spring and you're really wanting to, declutter your house, right? You're having a garage sale. And that's kind of where the decluttering of the mind and the thoughts came about to me. I had started in my attic. and was just going through boxes. And, my poor husband, okay, this is going to the garbage. This is going downstairs in the garage, telling him where to put things. But before you can decide where these things are going to go, you need to really examine them first. And I found myself going through box after box, looking at pictures from past marriages with the family, pictures, or just things like, why do I have this and why do I have that? And I had boxes of things from when I was, in high school. I mean, that was 30 years ago. 30 years ago, I have yearbooks. I have, my corsage from when I went to the prom, dried up, thing. And I just had this couple of boxes of things from 30 years ago. And I was like, no, I'm not going to get rid of that. And I just kind of set it aside. And I decided that I'm just going to go through the entire house. I went through every closet, every drawer. I looked at things, I analyzed them. And some of those things brought feelings of immense joy. Some of those things brought some painful thoughts of, when I lost, family members in a very short period of time, like some obituaries I came across in a drawer. And, I kept moving forward. I kept moving forward until finally I had decluttered the entire house. My husband was like, wow, like, do we still have anything left around here? And I remember the first night after I had done all of these things, I woke up in the middle of the night and I just kind of was tossing and turning. And I kept thinking about a couple of boxes that I really didn't go through. I saw them, I knew what was in them, but I didn't go through them. And how I was hesitant about that. And when I thought about what was in those boxes, I realized a lot of what was in there was a life I didn't live, a life that I had planned to live, but that I didn't live. And I thought about how quickly I was ready to just push it aside and just leave it there and not deal with it. And I just said, you know what? It's time, girl. It's time to really look at that box, those boxes, basically the thoughts that were in my mind about those boxes, my thoughts of feeling like I didn't go to college when I was in high school. I wanted to be a psychologist. I so desperately, even at 18, I wanted to help people. I wanted to be a psychologist. Going to college was just not a thing. I had never heard of coaching until like 10 years ago. And I had been carrying around the thoughts of, you didn't succeed. You didn't make it happen. And I at that moment said to myself, no longer am I going to keep this up here. No longer am I going to have these feelings. I'm going to let them go. And it kind of just brought back, and this was about 2.5 months ago, and it brought back feelings of, I get to choose what feelings I'm going to keep, what thoughts I'm going to keep here. And so I kind of went through, after the decluttering of my house, I went through the decluttering of my mind and really stepped back and examined myself again and realized I didn't do those things for a reason, right? We are where we are because this is exactly where we're supposed to be, as painful as it might be sometimes. And we just need to rest in it. We just need to stay there for a while and examine. And that's exactly what I did. And I took out the thoughts and the feelings of happiness, the immense joy that I absolutely loved. I took those out. I looked at them. I examined my marriages. I don't like saying I've been divorced, or, we used to feel uncomfortable about it, but now I'm like, I have I've had two unsuccessful relationships. Again, it's kind of really how you approach it in your mind. And I don't carry the burden of being divorced twice by choice. I decided to declutter that. And it can be done, with anything. I mean, I encourage everyone to make space for the life that they want to live in their minds. Like carve that spot out. This is where the good stuff's going to go. Examine the stuff that happened, that it just happened. It is what it is. And truly, anything that does not serve you, take it to the curb. Let it go.
Donate it.
Yeah, why are you holding on to it? It's not doing you any good. And interestingly enough, I actually have used this decluttering of the mind process with a client since I thought about it 2.5 months ago. And I had her go through this exact same thing. And it's been so fruitful to see her grow and examine things in her life, ask herself the same question, like, why am I holding on to this?
Yeah.
It's time to let it go. And so, yeah, that's the analogy of decluttering the house, decluttering the mind, and, really making some choices and honestly choosing yourself first.
That
You don't,
resonates a lot for me because I think, and I shared this with you before, there's a TED Talk out there called From Clutter to Clarity that
mm,
says that clutter, be it physical, papers all over your desk or things all over your house or thoughts in your head or
right.
emails, our email box, who couldn't use a little decluttering there?
Right, absolutely.
That all of them represent postponed decision of some form, and that we carry around all of those postponed decisions and they weigh us down. Each of them has a spiritual weight on us, right? Each bill that we just toss in the pile, we carry it with us and it drags us down, and that hinders our growth. It hinders us. We don't have room for other things. We don't have room for the bounty. So I love that. I love that
Yeah.
analogy. That's why I love that analogy.
Oh, thank you so
I'm a
much.
nerd. I'm a nerd though.
Yeah, I mean, I love what you just said too. It's like when you're so full of the stuff that doesn't serve you, there's no room for the things that do.
Yeah.
You can't receive when you're full of things that are just not the best for you. And so many times we hang on to the things that aren't the best because that's all we know. And we're maybe a little afraid to step forward and move out of that and go get what you really want. So,
I think that when we're talking about kind of learning to love the life that is in front of you, that's
mhm.
here, that it's clear that there are a lot of people out there who don't feel like they have that choice or haven't made that choice yet, that they're not loving life. And I'm wondering if you could describe what that looks like from your perspective as a coach who helps people overcome that. What does it look like when someone doesn't actually love their life that they're living, or what it looks like maybe if they hate it?
Right, absolutely. Yeah, so first of all, to think that someone doesn't love their life or actually hates their life just really breaks my heart. I mean, this is your gift. This is a gift. The life that you have, the life that you get to live is a gift. And so to know that there's people out there that really truly hate their life really just kind of it hurts me. It hurts my heart. But what it looks like is it's joyless. It is so stuck. And you've probably heard this before, sick and tired of being sick and tired. Well, guess what? That person that really hates their life is sick and they're tired. They're angry. They may hate their job. They're in unfulfilled relationships or a marriage. Um, you know, and I mean, gosh, I can't even imagine how it could be how it could look worse than what I just described, right? If you really are hating your life and not happy with it, it's like a struggle to get out of bed. It's a struggle to go to work. Everything is a struggle. Everything seems impossible, overwhelming. And I think that's where when I start thinking about like really if you hate your life, then the goal is not to get you to love it, but just to get you to like it. Even if it's just for a little bit of like, finding a few things in your life that you really can find joy in. But yeah, it's just all of those things.
And it's a muscle, right? It's,
Yeah.
one of the tricks that we learn about is gratitude journaling, of course. And
Mhm.
that's a muscle. It takes a lot of effort to do that. Like that is a
Right.
skill. It is understandable that it's not just instant love, right? It takes
Mm-mm.
work, it
Mm-mm.
takes effort, it takes patience to find that thing that you love, that you like at least, and then
Absolutely.
blossom from there.
Right. Absolutely.
So, what are some tricks that you use, or tool a trick makes it sound like it's insincere or like fun, and that's not what it is. But what are some tools that you use as a coach to help someone in that situation to get to a point where they feel that like of something again?
Yeah, absolutely. So the some of the things that I do are just basically what the definition of a mindset coach is. So basically, a mindset coach helps clients discover, practice, and master new ways to be more intentional with shaping their mindset and their focus. And so, I help clients with their current beliefs, work on behaviors and thought patterns, and help them to identify the ones that are helping them and the ones that are hurting them. So if I think about the things that I'm doing, like the things that I say, I'll give you the best visual that I can think of. I know that you and I have talked about this before, but if you can picture yourself standing on a canyon, and maybe it's the Grand Canyon, or maybe it's a much smaller canyon. You're standing there, and what you so desperately want, what you so desperately desire, if it's a happy marriage, a happy relationship, to feel worthy, to feel enough, everything that you want is on the other side of the canyon. You can see it, you can wave to it, but you can't get there for whatever reason. I'm the person in the gap. I'm the person that so desperately wants to get you there. We are going to work on discovering who you are. We're going to talk about what your beliefs, what your values are. We're going to work on your direction. Like, where do you really want to be? Where do you see yourself? And then we're going to come up with some practices that will help you, some tools, as you said, tools and tricks, whatever that may be. But we're going to come up with, and I have some specific things to get you to understand yourself a little better, to really define your goals, your values, who you are. And then we're going to practice those. We're going to master those. And I'm going to walk alongside you every step of the way. Because I get you, because I've been there. I get where my clients are. I've been there. And because I get them, I've got them.
I love that, standing
That's
as
so
a kind of a
passion.
bridge across the canyon.
Yeah.
My mental picture that I have for you. Uh,
Yes.
so if that one person is listening today,
Mhm.
or 500 people, whoever, but if
Mhm.
that one person is listening today who's thinking, this is really good. I want to get started. I want to get started right now. What is one thing that that person could do today to start finding that life that they're going to love?
Well, one of the things that I would suggest is that they begin to evaluate 3 different areas in their life. And it's what as coaches call the wheel of life, but I'm going to pick out 3 things that I think are really important. The first thing is health and wellness. The second is, love, relationships. And then the third is the career, like your career path, like where are you at this point? And I want you to think about these things, and I want you to scale them from 1 to 10. one being the lowest of lows and 10, the highest of highs. And I want you to honestly answer, where am I? Where do I see my health and my wellness? If you're a 5, what is it going to take to get you to an 8? What does that look like? What do you need to do to improve your health and your wellness? In your relationships, if it's with your family, if it's with your husband or your spouse or your significant other or whoever that may be, where does that fall on that scale? And then where do I want it to be? What does it look like? If I wanted it to be an 8, what does that look like? And so, and the same thing with career. And what this does is it starts getting you to think about your relationships and who you are as a person, who you are in these relationships, but where you want to be and how you're going to get there. You start creating a plan in your mind. A thought process starts coming. And I am a firm believer of that thoughts create results. And so if you are thinking fiercely about what you truly want, the results of those things will take place. I often ask my clients, what are you committed to?
Yeah,
You know,
yes, you do.
yeah, it's like, what are you committed to? And well, they'll say, well, I'm committed to, being healthy. Well, what if you're really committed to being healthy, then everything that you do is about being healthy. So then I paint this picture of, or explain in much great detail. It's like, what are you doing right now? Picture what you're doing right now, because what you're doing right now is what you're actually committed to. So if you're at a 5 on your health and wellness and you want to be an 8, put a plan in place that gets you to an 8, and then will get you to a 10. And then ask yourself every day, what did I actually do to meet that commitment? It's a huge eye opener. Anyone that I've ever asked, like, what are you doing? What are you committed to? It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Well, I'm committed to this. But what are you actually doing? Because what you're actually doing is what you're committed to. And it's provoked a lot of thought and got people thinking like, whoa, I need to do some things differently. I need to back this up. And remember that your thoughts create your results.
Yeah. So we're kind of rounding off the end of our time together today, but this has been so fascinating. I'm wondering if you could leave us with a key thought today. The people in the audience only took away one thing, not the one person that you wanted to hear the whole thing, because they leaned in, they listened. But if there's other people out there who only took away one thought, one key thought from today, what would that be?
The thought would be, I can't just give anything one thought, Daniel.
I know.
I would want them to feel empowered, inspired to get to the other side of their canyon. What does that look like? And I want them to get to the other side, and and basically to ask them, like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
It's time. Ask yourself, what am I waiting for to really start living a life that I love? It's really time.
Yeah.
It is really time.
And speaking of which, since you're the bridge across that canyon for your clients, how
Yes.
could someone best get in touch with you if they want to work with you?
LinkedIn. My website isn't complete yet. LinkedIn, Jackie Wadleigh, on LinkedIn, Jackie Wadleigh Mindset Coaching.
And
You can,
I encourage you to put that in the comments for this video after we go offline today so that people can just click a link.
yeah, absolutely. And then you can also email me, Coach Jackie at JackieWadleigh.com.
Well, thank you so much, Jackie, for being with us today, for sharing your stories, and for just being so passionate about your clients. And thank you for being my coach.
Oh, thank you so much, Daniel. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And I also appreciate the viewers. And I want to thank you so much for tuning in to this video and watching it all the way through. And since you did, if you could just take a couple of seconds and give back to the community a little bit and subscribe to the channel and like this video so that Google knows that it can share this safely with other people, that'd be really awesome, really helpful, and I'd appreciate it very much. And while you're at it, leave a comment with what inspired you today, what actions you're going to take to love the life that you live. And tune in next week for another live episode. We'll be talking a little bit about overcoming perfection and our negative self-judgment. So I'll see you then, and bye.